3 in the weekend wrestling. And as you can see, we got Cajun Daddy Trucker, Jimmy Cruz Show. I am just built different, Cody Hawkinz. We are in for a decent episode this week, man, because this is all the fallout from WWE Elimination Chamber. We've seen a lot of craziness happen. I did the first episode of the day after, which I'm gonna be doing that moving forward.
And we saw how predominantly they did not let us forget. They did not let us forget on SmackDown, on NXT, and also on Raw that John Cena turned heel. They played those clips must be like over 2,000 times.
Right? Oh, easily. Oh, we watched it pretty consistently. And by the way, clicking on link in the bio here for our shirts that are now available. We do have a cap limit of 25 shirts. So do click the link in our bio and do search for this shirt. Also check us out on Facebook. We did put a post on the Chef Podcast Facebook page to order your shirts soon. We want to have the orders done the Friday before, like the week before WrestleMania weekend, to where if we get all 25 shirts in, we can make the shirts and have them delivered on that Friday to where they will be at everybody's homes right before WrestleMania.
Yup. And ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I am present. You might see my kids pop here and there. I am Cajun Daddy Trucker, and I'm also a dad at the same time. So I am cooking dinner and making plates at the same time while talking about wrestling, which is my two favorite things in the world.
There you go, man. So, man, let's go ahead and get things started with give it some recognition. AEW Revolution is on the air right now, live on pay-per-view. We have a huge card with those guys tonight.
What's up, all in there?
Excuse me. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna run down the card real quick for AEW Revolution. Here's the card, guys. This is going to be held in Los Angeles, California. Tonight, you can view this on Triller or pay-per-view, or also Amazon Prime. It's going to be at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. Our two highlight matches will be the AEW World Championship champion Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland, formerly Edge, whatever you want to call him. That's the main. Steel cage match between Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. The AEW International Championship, Konosuke Takeshita defends his title against Kenny "By God Omega." MJF versus Hangman Adam Page as well in a big blood feud match. The AEW Continental Championship, champion Kazuchika Okada facing Brody King. Also, the Mercedes Moné will be defending the AEW TBS Championship against Momo Watanabe from Stardom Wrestling in Japan. Momo Watanabe is not a woman that Mercedes should take lightly. That girl hits hard. And she hits awesome.
AEW has that great relationship they got going on right now with Stardom. And I like that.
And New Japan.
And New Japan. I want WWE to have that same kind of relationship with New Japan. Because if you think about the matches they can have between New Japan as well as WWE, dude, that would be so badass.
Right. And also you have the AEW Women's Championship, the Hollywood ending. Toni Storm defending her AEW Women's Championship versus Mariah May. This is basically a rubber match between these two ladies for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Okay, I'll put this in the fridge for her.
Then there's a number one contendership match for the AEW World Title. Swerve Strickland will face Ricochet.
So dude, that promo. Did you see that promo with Ricochet and Swerve? Dude,
right?
That line was so savage.
Like,
the only thing
he was sneaking, popping his hat off to where he can get smoked in the forehead with that damn pair of scissors. If that wasn't more obvious than I've ever seen in my life, he should have just popped the hat off and said, "What you gonna do? Go boop," you know?
Like that mark though. Like the only thing you'll be known for is trying to make your career more popular in this company and your popular, sexy wife. I'm like, damn. I go ahead and be like that.
Also, we have AEW. Yeah, and we got the AEW Tag Team Championships being defended. Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. Right now, the ROH World Championship was defended during the 0 hour. Chris Jericho taking on Gravity.
Who won that one?
Chris? I think Chris defended and retained. Big Boom Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy faced Johnny TV in the Eminem Collection, Mason Madden, and Mansoor. Big Boom AJ, Mark Briscoe, and Orange Cassidy just won that match. I was watching 0 Hour before I got live here. So awesome.
So essentially that Johnny TV character,
Who the
and
hell is this?
it's
Genesis
essentially a copy and paste.
Verkamango Sake.
They're a copy and
Let's
paste from
see.
whenever they was in WWE.
Also in 0 Hour, we also had Daniel Garcia, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Carly Bravo, and Sean Dean. This was a pretty solid match from what I was told. And let's see. We also had Lee Johnson and Blake Christian versus Commander and Hologram on a tag team match during 0 Hours. I already did. It's on low. But with that news, let's move on to Monday Night Raw, guys. This was a very, very predictable but very entertaining Monday Night Raw. You had a couple of title defenses. You had a lot of things happening, a lot of moving parts, but it was a very well assembled Monday Night Raw for Netflix. Now,
So the first match you're going to get into is the Gunther and Otis match.
yes, Gunther and Otis.
I feel so bad for saying this. I really do. I'm a fan of Otis. I am. But I am agreeing right now with Gunther. If you see how good Otis did in that match, if he took himself more seriously,
He'd be an absolute freaking monster.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, dude, he'd be an absolute well, I mean, even as a babyface, the crowd loves the hell out of Otis, man. Like,
yes.
Like, because as a heel, the crowd doesn't want him to be a heel. They love him too much. But the thing is, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. And that exactly happened to Mr. Johnny Cena this past Saturday at Elimination Chamber. So he's lived long enough to become the villain.
Well, a story that I've heard that I'm not sure if it's 100% true about that situation is apparently The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was going to say yes to it. But apparently John Cena stepped in and said he didn't want Cody Rhodes to ruin his career at such an early stage and said he would take it.
See? And we got Kitty in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, this was an industry-shaking Elimination Chamber we're coming back off of. We're on the heels of. Now, like, we're on the downhill, moving towards WrestleMania. Like I said, so many moving parts, so many storylines, so much intensity that's happened between Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, because NXT is getting ready for Stand and Deliver, which is going to be the same weekend as WrestleMania weekend, and it's going to be a hell of a show for NXT. So the next 3 weeks worth of story building for all 3 shows is going to prove to be. And look, you're rocking the Bad Blood Cup. I'm rocking Elimination Chamber, guys. Look, we're keeping the merch circulating, baby, and these are also available on Little East Creation.
Yes, they are. Little East Creation, ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead and hit her up. She can make stuff for you that you want, that you love. Hang on one second. Actually, I think I have something I can show you guys right quick.
Oh, nice.
Yes. See if I can turn my camera. There it is. So this is right here. It's something that Little East created. Now, my father-in-law and his wife, she unfortunately passed away about a good 9-10 years ago. That was a picture of that was a picture of them whenever they first got together. Nice. That was a picture of them on their last time together and their wedding announcement. And Ashley and Little East Creations made that.
That is awesome, man. That is so cool. And anything you can think imaginable, if you want it customized, Little East Creations is the place for you. Check us out. Check them out on Facebook. They are our primary sponsor for the Shed Podcast. And also, I want to make an announcement before I started on Monday Night Raw. For WrestleMania weekend, we were planning on doing a subathon, but I think what we're going to do is that we're going to run 2 12-hour-long pay-per-views, like streams, because it depends on how long the card's going to last. I say right around 10 p.m. should be when we go off the air, because, I mean, depending on how long the matches go, because remember, this is on Peacock, this is pay-per-view, you never know. You could have a 4 to 5 hour long pay-per-view across maybe 8 or 9 hours across 2 nights. You might have a 4 hour on the Monday and a 4 hour on the Saturday and a 5 hour on the Sunday. Or you can go 5 and 4 or 4.5 and 4.5. You never know. But it's 9 hours total of wrestling across 2 nights. So what we're gonna do is on Saturday, 12 o'clock noon Central Standard Time, 12 Central, 1 Eastern, which will be like 10 o'clock Pacific. We will go live here on YouTube for the Shed Podcast leading up into WrestleMania 41. Me, Jimmy, Justin, we're going to be gaming it up while we're waiting for the pre-show. And we're also going to do it up. And I'm going to do the weekend wrestling immediately after Friday Night SmackDowns, where I don't have to worry about doing it for WrestleMania Saturday Night 1.
What you guys see me doing here is what you guys going to see us be doing there.
We're
You're
going to be
see us
grubbing
all
and
in our
playing some
natural.
video games, baby.
Yep. All of our natural element
I'm
trends.
bringing-
I mean, look, I'm eating pork
I'm
chops
bringing the
and
6'4".
butter noodles.
I'm bringing the 6'4".
Mario.
I got 3 new controllers and 4 more games.
Look, I'll bring the money in so we can gamble too.
Hey, a quarter per match. We'll play quarters. I'll just go buy me a sleeve of quarters. $10 worth of quarters, a quarter per match.
Let's run
Whoever
it.
runs out first loses, and they got to eat the first hot wing.
Won't phase me none.
It's on, bro. But yeah, we're going to be going live at noon Central Standard Time, WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Both will start at noon Central Standard Time. So noon Central, 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. So with that being said, fans already know about what we're doing on Night 1. We're doing the Hot Ones Challenge. But
Not sure we're doing Night 2.
So let's start with this, man. CM Punk actually started off Monday Night Raw, and he's still heated and pissed off about what happened at Elimination Chamber. And he was basically getting his grievances out on everybody. He decided to waste little time and take aim at everyone from The Rock, Cena, the man who cost him a shot,
you're showing somebody
WrestleMania
the
41,
picture?
Seth Rollins. He dropped profanities while expressing his anger and outrage towards all 3. Like this dude's anger, this man was pissed. Okay, end of discussion. CM Punk was mad and he was ready to unleash hell on anybody
Now,
whose music hit. And look, look, he made threats about Rollins. He wanted to instigate a fight, spilled out into the ring and into the crowd. Rollins would come out. They start mollywomping each other. It's a fucking Donnybrook out there. They were eventually separated during the commercial break, but not before kicking off Raw with a wild fight. And it basically set the stage for another WrestleMania match, Punk versus Rollins. He will have his WrestleMania moment. He's just not going to be in the main event.
Let's talk about this right quick because I want to bring this up. Very interesting fact and statistic for you. Since his return, since he came back from injury, he has only had 2 non-cage style matches. He has had the one with Drew McIntyre, that's been Hell in a Cell, the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Qualifier, and then the Elimination Chamber, and now he's going into a steel cage.
Right.
In less than 6 months, if I read correctly, he is the first superstar that in less than a 6 months time frame has competed in 3 steel cage style matches.
Well, whether it was steel cage, Elimination Chamber, or just Hell in a Cell.
All done?
He's faced. Okay. He's worked a match in all 3 styles. He's been in a steel cage. He's been in Hell in a Cell. He's been in a chamber, which awesome, if anything, guys. Because I love this for CM Punk. It's good to see him back and still doing what he's doing. I mean, best in the world for a reason, right? I mean, yeah. He might be a little up in age, but that veteran experience, dude, from CM Punk. Oh, look, I'm rocking an old Punk shirt. This was the shirt that he was rocking a couple of years before he walked away 10 years ago.
He's never been best in the world. I will say this, and I'll say this to the day I die. I mean,
like gimmick-wise, best in the world.
He has my respect for what he's done, but
he's not the best wrestler in the world, but he's the best at what he does in that sense.
He will always be a mid-card. He will always be a mid-carder that prompts himself up because of that pipe bomb. If that pipe bomb did not exist, CM Punk, in my heart of hearts of wrestling, believe that he would have been fighting for that Intercontinental title and that United States title and would not have had the runs that he had with that world title.
But you got to think about it. Paul Heyman played a role in him. Paul Heyman backed him in a lot of ways. You know, he
I
put
know, but
Punk
that was again
over
pipe
to
bomb.
the guys in the
That pipe
back.
bomb. That's all after the pipe bomb. That
No,
pipe
before
bomb
the
is what
pipe
solidified
bomb,
him.
he was ECW World Champion. Then he went to SmackDown with the Straight Edge Society and became World Heavyweight Champion, not once but twice.
We're gonna really talk about ECW and him being the world champion ECW. Mind
No,
you,
but hold on. Now, like I said,
WWE,
it started.
WWE style ECW.
Okay, I get that, but still, it's still a notable championship. It's still considered a notable
Yeah,
championship in
but
the
is it?
WWE archives. It still puts him as a
Yeah, in the
multiple-time
archives.
world champion. They do count the
I
ECW
mean,
World Championship. Like as his
but
world title reigns, it's considered a world title reign.
it
But I
is
mean,
sadly. But
I'm not gonna judge it because he's held world title and WWE championships multiple times. Okay, he's done it. He's been at the top of the mountain more than once in multiple different shows throughout his career. He went
he's done pretty
from
good.
he went from being a backdrop mobster looking dude for John Cena's entrance back at what, WrestleMania 23 was it?
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah, whenever he's all that bullshit. Okay, he went from that to being where he is now.
And now you got John Cena has a real monster.
Right. Like Punk
Hey,
was
full
right
circle.
back in the day. Punk was right about Cena back in the day, storyline wise, if that's the case.
Dude, I cannot wait until John Cena comes on the 14th and drops a promo.
Now, but like I said, back to the segment with him and Rollins. This was a great way to start off Monday Night Raw. I thought so. I know a lot of people agreed with me. A perfect opening segment. Now, you know, I'm liable to get us kicked off of Netflix right now. That was a quote that Punk said there. He also said, quote, "I've never been so delusional to wear a fake title and proclaim myself the people's champion because I don't deserve it. I earn it." Punk warned the crowd, you know, you've been selling all these kids and all these people bullshit. Basically, Punk would say that about John Cena. Now, oh wait, he said, Becky Lynch, you better come get your man because if I do before you do, I'm gonna put him in a wheelchair.
Lady Gaga looking motherfucker.
Oh man, but anyway, moving forward, the match between Otis and Gunther. This was a barn burner for me. Like, this was a great match to kick off Monday Night Raw, the first match of the night. You know, bickering with the Judgment Day. There was some backstage stuff between Finn telling Dom, Carlito, and Liv, and all them that he'll deal with Braun Breaker on Monday night. You know, back in the arena, you had Gunther already in the ring. Otis was coming in. Match between them. It was a great showing. Otis can take a licking, bro. This dude is just a big hunk of meat in the ring. This dude is just meat on meat. Like big meaty men slapping meat, and Otis is all the meat. Gunther just became a walking skeleton. I'm sorry. He's an outstanding in-ring performer, great striker, awesome wrestler. But now he looks like a emaciated buzzard.
Remind me never to be getting jumped in the ring and wishing that Jay Uso would come save me. Literally, you're getting jumped in the ring. The music hits. He's sitting there just looking at everybody. Motherfucker, I'm getting beat down. Can you come help me, please? Like,
yeah, he's too theatrical with his entrances, bro. Fuck that little slow walk with the oh yeah, I'm coming get it, boy. Come and get your ass in the ring.
I'm dying, sir.
Get your
Help
ass
me.
in the ring and go to work, boy. Damn. I couldn't. My music hits. I ain't even letting the fucking music drop. Okay, I'm just going through.
As an amateur professional wrestler, if you ever see me in a wrestling ring getting my ass jumped and you don't come save me, or you come out and you do one of those theatrical entrances, I'm giving you a receipt.
Get that shit, man.
I'm giving you a receipt backstage. I'm just
Come
letting you know.
I'm slapping him clean the back of the fucking head. No, fuck's wrong with you? Showboating and hot dogging looking ass boy. Get out of here.
Fucking 10 minutes later, you have a broken jaw, broken nose. You finally made it halfway to the ring.
right. Now, look.
You're not even in the ring yet.
Now, noted Otis and Gunther went blow for blow here. They went lick for lick, shot for shot, chop for chop, punch for punch, kick for kick,
Mhm.
slam for slam. Just all around meat match altogether. But Otis would outlast Otis and score the pin with an impressive ass power bomb, picking up
Oh
a
yeah.
340-pound plus man. Okay, for a power bomb is a feat within itself. Even though Gunther's a tall glass of water himself, that boy's a whole goddamn fucking redwood.
Tree.
So, well, an Austrian redwood. Let's be specific there. So yeah,
Look, here's the thing about
this
Gunther
is
is I love him.
an
He
all-around
does good,
amazing match, honestly.
but I feel like Gunther's title reign has gone dull.
Now, okay, now do remember whenever Jey Uso did make the save, also A-Town Down Under came and fucking wrecked shop.
Mm. Yep.
And then basically everybody gets laid out and Ring General is in the middle of the ring standing tall after it all. Great match between those two heavyweights though. I'll give them that. I'm gonna give that match a fucking A+.
Oh hell yeah.
For a big boy
Easy.
match, now for that first segment, I'm gonna give an A as well. But this match gets an A+. Now, moving forward to that, next thing was the Women's Intercontinental Championship between champion Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile. Now, these two have been going at it for the last month and some change, ever since Valkyria became Women's Intercontinental Champion. Now, she had a really great title defense last week against Dakota Kai, which I love Dakota Kai's New Year. Just,
Oh yeah. Love it.
yes, Lord. It for a petite girl, it works for her. It's an outstanding.
Oh
I
yeah.
love the color because I love purple, and she's the right amount of tan to make that purple pop. Now, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I mean, it was a good one. Like Ivy Nile became very methodical in this match, finding her target and running with it. Which her target in that match was the knee of Lyra Valkyria. Because no knee, no vertical base, you can't carry anything if you put pressure on it after injuring it, after targeting. But Nile did control the match during the commercial break, working on that left knee, slowing down the pace a little bit to
Mhm.
where um, it could kind of reduce the blow of the comeback from Valkyria. But Valkyria would fight back and try to get the Nightwing at one point. Her knee did give out.
So give us a moment to change the channel, okay?
It basically opened her up to get freaking power bomb by Ivy now. Now will continue to
The
work that knee, but an ill-fated running boot in the corner missed and allowed Valkyria to deliver the second attempt at the Nightwing for a gutsy victory, leaving her wounded, a little bit down with that knee. So, this was a good,
that
strong
looked
match.
messy. It looked messy.
Yeah, it was messy, but they made it work. I'll give it that. They did make it work. It was the crowd was a little dead near the end of it. Like the comeback, the crowd was getting up, but once the go home happened, it was already starting to down. Like they didn't peak on it.
True.
What's up, bub? Justin's here.
What up, dude?
Now, like I said, this was a strong match for these two ladies here. It's putting more credibility on the Women's Intercontinental Championship match after match after match. Just like the original Men's Intercontinental Championship did. It's like this. The title doesn't make the wrestler. The wrestler makes the title. So whoever's holding it is going to give it its prestige. Now, it was nice to see as a babyface being the first ever champion. Awesome. But a heel is needed to put some credibility on that belt now. Okay, of the women of the Monday Night Raw roster, who do you think of the women's roster, the heels, would be next champion for the women's IC? What do you think, Jimmy?
What's her name? Starts with a Z. She was a tag team partner with Sonya Deville.
Oh, Zoe Stark.
Yes.
Yeah, Sonya appeared on a different television station recently since her release.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think. Yeah, I forgot she did get released. Sonya Deville did get released.
Yeah. I mean, Pure Fusion Collective is still Baszler and Zoe.
Which
Like,
is weird if you don't have Sonya
honestly,
Deville in it.
DeVille, I mean, DeVille's a great worker, but it just seems like it seems off with DeVille in there.
Deville has always been off since she got into WWE.
Like, well, ever since the whole Mandy Rose thing. Like, whenever her and Mandy Rose were a great dynamic. They were a good tag team.
Put that plug
They
that
were
together.
good. But it eventually just kind of fizzled out. But once again, Valkyria with the title defense to get that done. Adam Pearce did make an announcement, and Ludwig Kaiser cut a promo. So the announcement was that Punk and Rollins are going to square off next Monday. Actually tomorrow night, coming up on Monday Night Raw. Kaiser would cut a promo on Penta Estiano Metal, which brought him out. Nice little back and forth. In the street clothes, clearing house, having that happen. It was a rare miss on this show for these guys, man. But it
I kind of
left
missed that.
Penta looking real strong and standing tall for this one.
I kind of missed that in the business with the street clothes and kind of like the street style fighting.
Right.
I like that. It kind of gave it authenticity. I'm like, okay, I'm down for this.
Right. So now backstage, Bianca Belair continued to plead her innocence in the attack that took place with Jade Cargill. The whole story about putting Cargill on the shelf. She's trying to figure out what's going on. She needs to get the truth from both ladies to make sure the stories make sense and they line up. Make sure everything commingles to make sure that everybody's on the same level page. But of course, that's not going to happen. Whenever we get to Friday Night SmackDown, you'll see that. We had the World Tag Team Championships defended. Champions, War Raiders would take on the Creed Brothers. They would retain in this match the World Tag Team Championships. It was a well-paced situation, a well-paced match. Wow, Jimmy Green, what you doing, bro? Well, anyway, Chad Gable. Before this match would start, Chad Gable would be on a VTR, like pre-taped video in Mexico, and received a mystery box from a man whose name was given to him by Dominic Mysterio. Now, back in the arena, Gable's team, American Made, would be in the ring. They challenged the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. This was a very physical battle between these two teams. Now, the Creed Brothers, man, they have been slimming down, toning up, and looking freaking great as of late. Like I'll give it to American Made. They shaped up quite a bit. Ivy now just bro, that girl's a freaking unit.
Oh yeah,
she's a little 5 foot unit, bro.
Oh yeah, she is.
I mean, I'm not to mention. I mean, I dig the I do dig the dreads. I dig the braids, the tight battle braids. She looks like she's ready for cage fight. Real shit. Now, like I said, this was a good, well-rounded physical match between the War Raiders and the Creed Brothers of American Made. But War Raiders would carry on and retain and carry on. Now, Eric and Ivar fought their way back quite a couple times in this contest, and the go-home was very, very smooth. With the athleticism of wrestlers and the size of Ivar, like, bro, that big boy can move. Did you see his match on Speed?
Dude, that boy should not be able to move like he's moving.
Right, like, big boy
Like,
got
I'm just
moves, yeah. Like, he does springboards and everything. I love his German suplexes. Those things are sick. But these two teams have done tremendous work in helping put the tag team championships on the map. So I was really happy to watch this. Now, Judgment Day would go on after this and try to target Braun Breaker, which that was to no avail because Braun wrecked freaking shop on everybody in the Judgment Day. This was great, okay? This was
So,
a
ladies
great
and gentlemen,
spot.
behind me, as he's collecting the notes, that is going to be one of the WrestleMania giveaways that we're going to be doing.
The one of each thing, yeah. If we can reach
Yes.
a sub goal of 10 subscriptions within a 2-hour time frame, If we get to that if we can do a countdown of 2 hours, if we get 10 subscribers within the 2 hour time frame, whoever, all the new subscribers that are in, we will put them on the prize wheel, and y'all will win one of these things that will be included in the WrestleMania bucket for both night one and night two. So you might win a coaster, you might win a phone case, you might win a koozie, you might win a lanyard, you might win a bottle opener, you might win a cup. Well, I don't know about the cup. I think the cup's going to be exclusive to the bucket. But all the other little odds and ends, like the poker chips, the cards, whatever we have that's not the cup will be up for grabs if we can get 10 subscribers in under 2 hours. So we're going to start the countdown at 2 o'clock. 2 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. So from 2 to 4, we're looking at that subscription challenge, because I want to try to get us to 1,000 subscribers before WrestleMania 42. If we can get past 1,000, that means we get monetized. We get monetized. We also gain our sponsors. Our sponsors will help us to get the movie at a better pace, and at the same time, we can get our passes to Mania. We get media passes.
That's something I am in the works right now with talking. I have received an email back from WWE Media. I have
Hell
actually gotten in
yeah!
touch with them. They
Yes,
say that we need to get our count up.
we got to
That we
get over
don't have.
1,000 easily. Like
Yes,
maybe 2,000.
but
Let's push for 2.
there is a
We're sitting at
possibility.
200 right now. I think. Yeah, we're like 206. Like we just
Justin just
broke the
said he couldn't
200
hear
mark
you
not
talk,
long
which is
ago.
weird. Because I
I know,
can hear you. I don't know why.
but
But yes, I did get a message back from them. If we can get our count up, there is a possibility of us doing media after Mania.
okay, awesome. So let's get down to the main event, bro. Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Io Sky. Main event Monday Night Raw. Man, look at that. Look at that. I got fucking goosebumps. Okay? I just caught a chill saying Rhea Ripley's name and Io Sky in the same sentence. Because I remember their matches from NXT, bro.
I didn't
Their
like that
matches from
match.
NXT transcended into Monday Night Raw with this match between these two ladies. Hell of a match.
So it was, but I didn't like that match.
I loved it,
I did.
honestly.
I
I loved
didn't.
it.
I did. I love the match quality, but I didn't like the ending.
The
But
ending was a little questionable. Like, this was a strong match. It was connected by the necessary interference, of course, of Belair. Assuming the plan is for all three of these women to collide at Mania. But, you know, I feel like Io Sky could not afford to lose this match. That's just me. Because as
I'm
much as she's been in the spotlight, I feel like she looks better with gold around her waist right now, going into
I'm gonna
WrestleMania. Who's to say Rhea's not going to get it back? Or who's to
I'm
say,
gonna be hated for this. I know I am. I'm gonna be hated for this. I am. I'm be prerogative with what I'm saying, and ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize if this offends you. I don't know whose fucking dick she is sucking backstage for her to keep on getting put in the spotlight that she's putting in. Like
she's a
she's like
hard
every
worker,
time you
man.
turn, dude. Okay, every female on that roster is a hard worker and does not get put in the main event spotlight as much as she's been put on there.
Now, that's true. But let's continue on this. Now, Rhea Ripley, you know, like Rhea Ripley would catch Bianca outside applauding Io Sky, right? Because of course Bianca won the chamber match, so she's got a shot at the Women's World Championship. So she's gonna face either Rhea or Io. Whoever wins it, she's facing them at Mania. Not to mention, going through that, the distraction would allow Sky to recover enough to counter a riptide from Rhea Ripley from the top rope with a Hurricane Rana and deliver it over the moonsault and win the championship. So we have a new Women's World Champion in Io Sky. Now, who's to say Rhea could cash in? She can invoke a rematch clause for Mania, and it's still going to be a triple threat. You know how many potential triple threats we're going to
Are
have at
those things
WrestleMania?
even a thing now? Like we've seen so many people lose titles, and very few have said that rematch clause invoked.
Usually,
Is that even? If you're a true
it's
wrestling
not
fan
commonly used.
if you're wrestling from the 2000s and 90s, from the early 2000s, you hear the rematch clause, you know what's happening. But if
Right.
you're a newer fan, you hear rematch clause. What the hell is a rematch clause?
Yeah.
For anybody that's
If
a
you're a
newer fan,
champion and you lose your championship, you're entitled to a rematch clause to gain it back, and you have 30 days to invoke. That's how that goes.
and nobody does, nobody even mentions it. So maybe she might.
Maybe.
Maybe she might.
She
We'll
can
see.
cash it in. Now, you know, Michael Cole actually noted out some good things about Io Sky. Sky achieved 2 victories over Rhea Ripley in their 2 previous singles matches against each other in the Mae Young Classic back in 2018, and a triple threat also involving Charlotte Flair at the In Your House 2020 on NXT. Um, Dude, the ovation, the crowd reactions for Rhea Ripley are nothing short than the levels of a main event superstar. Rhea Ripley is probably one of the best women in the company right now at her age and her experience and the character that she's portraying. She's doing an outstanding job here. But Sky borrowed from her damage control teammates, using the insane elbow from Kairi Sane and the Oscar lock. So she was taking from everything here. She was basically, biting off of this, biting off of that, and biting off of that one because of the inspirations that were drawn to her from um from those matches. Let's see here. See if I can get something going here. We are 36 minutes in, and we just got finished with Monday Night Raw. So we definitely need to chill on that. Whoop. Let me move into some music here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say here for this show it was a solid Monday Night Raw. I'll give it that. I'll definitely give it that. It deserves it. Jimmy's the outcast. What the fuck? It was a great main event, though. Now, moving on to NXT. Justin, put your earplugs in. Put your sleeping mask on. We just got them made for the bucket. Just borrow it. Hey, you can sign it. But getting to NXT, guys, this was a pretty solid show, if you want my honest opinion. Now, there was advertised for Tuesday night. Tony D'Angelo will put the North American Championship on the line against Shawn Spears. This was a good show. Now, meanwhile, Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and Piper Niven would do the tag team match against Zarya and Sol Ruka. Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker would have a match. TNA Tag Team Champions Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys, would be on NXT Tuesday night, taking on. Actually, it was just a Roadblock special. They were getting ready for now. Let's see. This show is going to open up with a recap of that they got a recap and a montage of the talent arriving at the arena, of course. The first match would be Ruka, Sol Ruka and Zarya versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven to start. Okay. Okay.
There we
Got it
go.
up. You good?
Yeah, it kicked me out. I'm like, what the fudge?
I'm about to say you lost connection, my guy. But yeah, man.
I was like, what the heck?
This was a pretty solid match for this tag match to start off. NXT. Niven and Chelsea Green are a pretty solid dynamic. Chelsea is your shit-eating green heel, shit-eating grinning heel, while Piper is your bodyguard. I love it. It's great, honestly. They did. Niven and Chelsea would try to take advantage during the commercial break. Zarya and Ruka would end up coming back here. Big lariats, German suplexes on Chelsea Green. Tag to Ruka, perching moonsault doomsday device. Piper breaks it up. Like Zarya gets the F5, throwing Niven into Chelsea Green, and Ruka would capitalize getting this here. Let's see. Where's that match? Here we go. No, Jada Parker would make her entrance to send us to break as well after all that stuff. Like, so Ruka and Zarya would win by pinfall over Green and Niven. Cora Jade and Jordan Grace are also going to be seen in Ava Rain's office. Jade will talk her smack on Jordan Grace. Masha Slamovich and says she's going to beat Masha for the TNA Knockouts World title. Because, I mean, what do you think about this merger between TNA and NXT? Like, what's your take on
Best
it?
thing.
I never really actually got to sit down and ask you about that.
So I have conflicting mindsets about it. So I
Okay.
love it. It's phenomenal. But the problem I'm having, and I can kind of understand why they're doing it, is if you look at it, they're doing predominantly TNA merger matches with TNA
Yes, but
NXT
I'm
mix
on
up,
podcast right now. I can't leave stream.
and they're doing them on WWE pay-per-views, which I completely understand. Look,
Well,
they don't have the kind of following that WWE has. I think that maybe later on down the road they'll feature some NXT mix-up matches on
they
TNA
have.
pay-per-views,
They
but
have.
not like they're doing with this one. Not like they're doing with the Roadblock.
Dude, like, you seen, dude, freaking Obafemi was on TNA television on their pay-per-view. Was it Hard to
No,
Kill?
but I'm talking about like match-wise. Look how many matches they have coming up.
Like, dude, him and Moose, bruh. Those two need to lock it
That's
up
gonna
one
be a
more game.
match. I
That was
want
a
them to go.
fucking match.
They're locking up coming up Roadblock.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait for them to lock up again. I'm
I
ready for
don't want
that.
it on that
I'm
pay-per-view.
here
I
for
don't
it.
want that. I do not want it on that pay-per-view. I want that on fucking Stand and Deliver.
Now,
That is WrestleMania weekend caliber match.
before Jada Parker would face Kalani Jordan here, coming back from commercial, Trick Williams would be in Ava's office. Ava was
Whoop
having a
that trick.
conversation.
Whoop
Kale Dixon
that
and
trick.
Uriah Connors would roll up with a gift basket for her. Williams was like, you know what? Yeah, don't even worry about that. He wouldn't even bother giving it to her. Then, like, go tell Andre Chase about it, blah, blah, blah. Blame him for being the reason Chase was on the line in the first place. Shoving Dixon against the wall, telling me he's seen him in the ring tonight, blah, blah, blah. Now, going into the Jada Parker versus Kalani Jordan match, feeling out, they did a good feel out at the beginning of this match. Pretty solid, standard fundamental wrestling. You cannot put a price tag on how valuable fundamental wrestling is when it comes to telling a story. From a wrist lock to a headlock to, you don't even have to take a bump to tell a story here. These two ladies could have been on their feet like for 5 minutes before any of them took a single bump and helped tell a story. But, Jordan
So
would
the
land a drop kick,
stories.
shoulder blocks in the corner, standing moonsault would connect. Parker would come back, but the comeback wouldn't last long. Kalani would take her head off with a huge lariat. Jada would, with some right hands off the rope, slide under. Jordan would land a stomp to the small of her back and follow it with an Asai moonsault, which was a great spot. I did want to kind of like talk that one out a little bit because if you watch that match, it was actually pretty damn solid. Like for two young up and coming ladies in NXT, this was a great match to display themselves. Now coming back from commercial, Jordan would block a kick and hit a side wrestle leg sweep as a suplex. Whip reverse, back body jump, shoulder block, knocks it down. Into the corner. Parker would roll away, schoolboard for two. Big fall away slam. Kalani would kick out. Jada Parker would get this. Kalani would get the 450 splash. Nobody home. Parker would get the win by pinfall with that running knee, which was really cool. That was a solid shot. It was a good angle. But I tell you what, Jada Parker needs to worry about her in-ring gear, bro. Because there was one thing that I saw. She needed to wear something underneath that thing, because like she's catching Tiffy Slip vibes over here with her gear.
Hey, was it as bad as that Liv Morgan slip at Elimination Chamber?
Whoa, that was bad. That was bad. I mean, at
That was
least
a
she was
whole
wearing
hoo-hoo
some
bag.
flesh. No, it was come to find out she was wearing flesh tone knickers.
That's about the only. That she needed to do something.
Right. Now, post match, Parker would call out Julia and Stephanie Vaquera and say, she'll be watching their match at Roadblock coming up. Now, the D'Angelo family, they're going to be interviewed backstage later on. Tony D'Angelo would be like, his mother always told him, if you don't have anything good to say about a woman, you shouldn't say anything. You know, he has a lot
So
to
the
say about
Stephanie match with
Izzy Dayton
Stephanie.
now. The CW will probably appreciate him not saying it, so he'll stay quiet. You know, he'll just reaffirm that it's Stack's call when he's not here. But tonight he's here, and Sean Spears will put his own family together, but there's only one family in NXT, and that's the D'Angelo family. Now, the Hardy Boys would be walking backstage as they go on to the break.
Hang on a second before you keep going.
Okay,
The
go ahead.
the Stephanie Valdez and Julia Hart match. Did you read about why they're having that match so soon?
It's not Julia Hart. It's just Julia.
No, sorry, Julia. You heard about why they're having the match so soon?
Because everybody wants it.
No, that's not it.
Okay, well, what we
They're
got?
not. They're not saying who, but one of them is injured and needs to take time off.
Oh no! Let it not be Julia. Come on.
They won't say who though, but they're
Julia
saying
has
one of
been
them
prone to
already
injury.
is injured.
Her last injury was working at Marigold before she signed her WWE contract, which was last year.
Yeah, somebody has an injury and they're gonna be dropping it.
Yeah, Julia got hurt at the first Marigold show, and she was out. So basically,
We'll
her
see.
contract went out at Marigold, and WWE scooped her up as soon as she was done
Might be
with
her.
surgery. She might have not been fully recovered. You never know.
Stephanie's
She
all.
might have
If you
bit
look
the
at her,
bullet
she
a
looks tough
little
as can
bit too
be.
soon. Which that
That's a
worries me about
possibility.
Julia, because Julia is an outstanding in-ring performer, and I would hate to see her go again. She needs to protect herself.
So,
Now, back from commercial, there would be clips of Obafemi in a press conference. He pretty much was quoting, he doesn't take representing the brand lightly. And this coming up this Tuesday, in 2 days, him and Moose are going to go head to head. But he's not going to lose and see a TNA wrestler running around with the NXT Championship on his shoulder. So Obafemi is here to stand and deliver. Before stand and deliver.
I think that match is going to end in a disqualification.
I'll say it's a fucking no contest.
I'll even take that.
Time
I'll
limit
even
draw?
take that and give it to us like stand and deliver.
Time limit draw?
Yep, give us stand and deliver with a false count anywhere.
Or Iron Man.
Ooh,
Iron Man match
those
two
two.
big men. Woo! Now, wait, what?
I quit. Yep.
The heat's not that bad. Either an Iron Man or a 2 out of 3 falls. I say 2 out of 3 falls. Iron Man or a 2 out of 3 falls match. 2 out of 3 falls can go like 30, 40 minutes. If done right.
But the interference also. Yeah.
But not long after that little clip, Moose would meet him in the size department. Let's just say that, though. A match between Obafemi and Moose. These guys are two big freaking redwood trees standing in a small forest compared to the rest of the roster. You know, Moose is no slouch here. Just a heads up. Just because he works at TNA doesn't make him a slouch or anything like that. Moose has been producing some great matches in TNA, especially with what is it? What's the name of the faction that he's with? The System.
Yeah.
With Eddie Edwards and all of them.
The most basic name.
And Lisa Edwards and all that. So after this, Obafemi would make a promise that he will be walking out of Roadblock as still NXT champion. Now, the Hardy Boys would make their entrance and get on the mic. Jeff would start up saying it feels good to be in NXT and even better to be at home in WWE. Now, Matt would go on and continue and say they feel the love coming back home to WWE. And that would be their first appearance on NXT in their careers. Now, for the very first time, they were able to defeat some like a crew like the No Quarter Catch crew. They basically put No Quarter Catch crew over in this promo. Now Jeff says
Yes.
the fires are in the eyes and the hunger is obvious, and they looked at Fraxium and saw the same fire they used to have. Enter Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank would apologize for interrupting the promo. Say they came out to look for some advice from the goats, which are the Hardy Boys. Now Hank would ask what they need to do to get to that next level. Matt would tell them they know who they are and they enjoy their work and respect is mutual. They're young, strong, big, hungry. But sometimes to get noticed, you got to take things to the extreme. Now, they talk about
Yes.
tables, ladders, chairs, all that stuff. No, Jeff says it's more about getting out of your comfort zone and getting past the perceived limits of what you are. If anything, that goes for every single person who ever aspires to become a professional wrestler. Hell, even me. Like I want to be able to break past that shell. And it took somebody like my good friend Robert Godsey to wake my ass up and make me realize what I can really do in this business. And I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a fatal four-way match coming up at SWF on March 29th for a shot, number one contendership opportunity at the Satsuma Valley Championship. I'm looking forward to that. And to hear that right there, bro, look, skin crawling again, bro. Like,
You're gonna win that. You're gonna win it and go for the title and win the title.
hey, look, gold looks good on something that is just so different. Okay, I'll leave it at that. That's right. You damn right. Why does Jimmy have my logo behind him? Well, Jimmy, you might have to answer that question there, bro. Now, also Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura would come in and interrupt as well. Briggs would tell the Hardys they can give Hank and take all the advice under the sun, but they're wasting their breath. And the advice to them is to stop playing the damsel in distress card because the Hardys ain't giving them a title shot. They're taking it. Hank and Tank dive on Briggs and Inamura, and a brawl breaks out outside the ring. Fraction would appear behind the Hardys. Broken Matt
Fraxium,
burbles out, I
I
knew you'd
knew
come,
you would come.
before turning around to see them and talk about their match in 7 days, and plus to find out who's the best tag team around. So we go to the break. We get a video package from Julia and Stephanie Vaquera for their title match. That's, of course, like you said, it's happening earlier because one of the two is injured. And I got a feeling it might be Julia because she was previously injured before getting into WWE. And maybe she didn't heal in time. I mean, if it's Stephanie Vaquera, well, that's what I'm worried about. Because Stephanie is a very careful wrestler from what I've seen.
What's up,
Some of
baby?
her stuff, oh, he looks frozen. Okay.
I'm not frozen. See,
Now,
just like he couldn't hear you. What's up, love?
okay,
You
so
okay?
now Cora Jade would take on Jordan Grace. Grace would work a headlock to take over early, and Jade tries to do the reversal stuff. Um, Grace and her power against
Is
Cora's
it dead?
speed and
All right, we'll put
technicality.
it on the charge in a little bit, okay? Yeah, you
They
phone's on
would
the
go
charger
into
for now, honey.
commercial after Jordan collapses on the apron from some work from Cora Jade. Cora taking over during the commercial break, coming back. Medics are checking on Cora in the corner. And let's see. Jordan gets under her with the fireman's carry, stampedes her into the corner a few times. Cora tries to reverse. Grace lands an inverted tilt-a-whirl slam. Tries to go for a pin, gets a two. Rights and lefts to her front and her back. Jade slings her into the turnbuckle cover for two knees in the corner. Jordan collapses to the apron and we go on break. So back from
What's up,
commercial,
baby?
Medics checking on Cora. She gets to her feet and is helped to
What's
the
up?
back. Jordan Grace would win by referee stoppage here.
You want your food? Okay, give me a second. I'll get your
Let's
food right
see.
now.
Then we had Kale Dixon versus Trick Williams from the earlier segment backstage. Jimmy, we need to talk after the podcast so all of us in Discord got down just mania and menus. Oh, okay, sweet. Sounds good, bro.
I don't
Now,
want to talk with you. Look, anytime Dad says we don't need to talk, that means somebody's getting their ass whooped.
no, it's not that kind of talk, bro. But look, Williams would blast Dixon with a trick shot out of the gates and hammer him with some punches where the referee would do automatic stoppage. Within 10 seconds of the bell, Trick Williams gets a win via referee stoppage. So that's two referee stoppages in a row. Now, after commercial, we get a recap of that, and then Moose gets a turn at the press conference deal, saying that Obafemi is the only NXT in a TNA match he wanted, and he waited until he can get it. And has been a hell of a champion. He's been a major player for. He's going to be a major player for the future, years to come. Looking forward to it. Now, Ava Raine would appear after this to close things out, but gets interrupted by Fatal Influence, demanding Fallon Henley get her rematch, but Ava would just walk it off. Ricky Saints would run into Ridge Holland. Oh, look, Ricky Starks, bro. I know him as Ricky Starks. Homeboy got my fucking respect, okay? I share the locker room with that dude, and he's freaking awesome. Now, Holland would tell him he's got a big win last week, but it doesn't fool him, and he shouldn't be here. But Ricky tells him to get used to seeing a whole lot of them. I love Ricky Saints, what he's doing here, because this is something he should have been doing, and this is the company he should have been at. But to take the necessary steps to skyrocket this man's career, whether it was the Indies, whether it was the NWA, whether it was AEW, and now
AEW.
with the WWE through NXT, I see a huge future for Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints. They might let him keep Ricky Starks when he goes to the main roster. You never know.
It just all depends on fucking
Creative, and if
not
they're
just
willing to
creative, but
buy out the name
also
for him.
yep, that's it. Buying out the name.
They
Taylor,
want
I
the
got your food.
intellectual
I mean,
property. They're gonna shuck up the money to do it.
Elvira, come here.
Now, Shawn Spears, Tony D'Angelo for the North American Championship here. This was great, man. D'Angelo had control early, bowling over Spears a couple times here. Um, Spears would take over before commercial, coming back from it, get a big near fall, follow it up, camel clutch applied, shifting gears, sharpshooter. Tony fights out, forget about it. Izzy Dames interferes and makes a near fall happen. Adriano Rizzo dives on Izzy Dame, and both men's factions start brawling outside the ring. Stax is in the ring. Shawn shoves him into Tony D'Angelo and crashes to the floor. He is back spasming, all that stuff. Spears takes him back inside C4. D'Angelo kicks out, goes for a spine buster, but his back gives out, and Shawn is on him. Shawn wins by the pinfall with a deep lateral press, becoming your new NXT North American champion. That was the show for NXT. This was pretty well-rounded when it comes to what was done, how the storylines were laid out, especially for the North American Championship. D'Angelo De Niro is an outstanding wrestler. The gimmick's a
I
little
want to see him.
worn out, you know what I'm saying? But it works. The family works in NXT.
But I don't see how we can transcend that into main roster.
Main roster, right.
That's going to be a situation that we're going to have to figure out. Because that's
That's
some of the
what
things
worries
that we
me
have.
there.
So I'm going to give it a description of as best as I can. I'm going to give it the NFL
Mid-card best?
description, okay?
Mid-card
I'm
best?
going to give it the NFL description. Sometimes quarterbacks that are in college that are phenomenal cannot be quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
Same thing with NXT.
Well,
Sometimes NXT superstars.
Now, there's a select few, but that also goes in comparison. Look what happened with Patrick Mahomes. Coming out of Texas Tech, he was a good quarterback, but he was a better in the NFL. Ben Roethlisberger coming from Boston College. Tom Brady coming from Michigan. He was like the last. He was like the absolute
Yep.
worst and one of the last picks in the draft, and he became a multiple-time Super Bowl champion. Okay, so don't sleep on the dog. Okay.
But the
Don't
bad
sleep
thing is,
on
like,
those.
how can Tony transcend his character into the main roster?
They
Where
gotta
do
make
you
it work.
have?
It's gotta be more real. Instead of this Godfather-like shit, it needs to turn more real. Less
But what does
Sopranos,
he have
more
though?
less
What
Sopranos, more true crime. You know what I mean?
what do you have though on the main roster where he can have something like that? Where he can sit there and fuse with somebody with that same kind of
Like the
well,
question you
because
want
with
to ask is, will this match be something that people would want to see at a WrestleMania?
exactly, you gotta find that dynamic that
You
goes
gotta
with it.
find the path to Mania. Because
I
once you hit
don't
Mania,
see
you're immortalized in the world of
I don't
professional
see
wrestling.
Tony D'Angelo changing out his character himself because
Maybe?
him has an Italian kind of mob boss style. That's
Right.
him.
Like
You
less
think it? You think
Sopranos,
that? You think
more
yeah?
Boondock Saints. You know what I mean? Like more rough and tough. That's what I feel.
Ooh.
See?
Oh. Hang on.
Oh, wait. Oh, maybe
So
you got an idea.
back in the day, TNA, before he was
The main
carrying
event
Cross.
Mafia?
No. Carrying Cross back in the day, he was a silent hitter in TNA days. If you have Tony D'Angelo coming onto the main roster, put him as a mob boss that puts hits on people. That's his fuse. His fuse is people that he's putting hits on. Somebody's taking them out. They come back. They might need to go ahead and go out for a little
That
bit
could
because they
work.
have an
That could work.
injury. And next thing you know, Tony is the person that makes sure they go out on the injury because he's like, look, I don't like him. I don't like what he's been doing. Take him out. Make him sleep with the
Right.
fishes.
Make
He
him
sits there and
hurt.
takes them out. Exactly. They come
Make him
back.
hurt.
There's the feud.
There it is. So let's go on to SmackDown, dude. We just watched this Friday. Man, look. Not only was this a post-elimination chamber episode, but it featured the fallout of John Cena's heel turn and the betrayal of Cody Rhodes. Cody would
That
return
Randy
to the
Orton
Blue Brand.
promo.
The Randy Orton promo. We also got a little action as Chelsea Green and Meat Chin would continue their feud in a United States Championship street fight. Let's take a look at, let's just go down the card here. Tiffany Stratton versus Piper Niven. This show opened up, with this match. But before that, there
No,
was a shot of Drew
the Randy
McIntyre
Orton promo.
attacking Damian Priest backstage.
You forgot about the Randy Orton promo.
Huh?
Randy Orton promo started SmackDown.
It was? Yeah, well, hold
Yeah.
on, let me see something. I must have, okay. Well, damn. Did I completely fucking miss that? Was that first?
So the
Are you
Randy
sure
Orton.
that was first?
Yep. That was first. That was the first thing that happened.
Hold on. I'm scrolling.
That was the first thing.
Son of a
So while
bitch.
he's looking for it, Randy Orton came out, guys, and he basically gave the whole entire speech in the promo about how he has very few friends in the industry, and he, of course, he went ahead and did that little snag towards John Cena and was talking about how John Cena was one of his, and John Cena went from the top, and now he's on the bottom, and now he's teaming with The Rock, so it gives the whole new definition to rock
bottom, yeah. Yeah, that was great. Like, he's bottom to The Rock. You know what a bottom is, right? He's definitely not a power
I
bottom.
love it. Oh, I loved it.
So Randy Orton's revealing levels of kink here on national television. It was creative. I love it. I fucking love it. It was. I was laughing so hard, man. It was crazy.
He talked about how whenever it came down to him come and save Sammy, and he started beating down on Kevin Owens. He had something that he hasn't had in decades, and the
those were the
voices started
voices in his
talking
head, right?
Started talking to him again. And he backed up and he was going to set up for that punt before they stopped him.
Woo,
Not before
man,
he said that
just saying,
he
that
vowed.
security came in smooth. Before
And
he started,
vowed.
like, perfect fucking timing. Everybody just kind of said, whoop, nope. Like, oh, dude, look, once again, those kind of moments
he said he's
got
going to
my
punt
hair
him.
standing up.
He said he's going to punt him.
Oh, he is. He's gonna punt him. He's gonna kick that dude's head off. Like, Daniel Bryan was known, or Bryan Danielson was known for that Ring of Honor. But now Randy Orton can legitimately say, you're gonna get your fucking head kicked in. Or off.
That promo was
it was a great promo, man. Now, this right here, Trish Stratus, after coming from that tag team match from Elimination Chamber in Toronto, Tiff found herself back in the ring against Piper Niven. Now, Niven had the size and power advantage, while Stratton is not a weakling. Okay, you have no idea. Tiffany Stratton is actually a professional bodybuilder.
She's
Same goes for Alexa Bliss. She's a bodybuilder too. Have you ever seen her competitions? Good Lord. I have not seen that much definition in a little person in a long time.
Now, you gotta also remember that the backstage segment as well that
there was
caused
a backstage
that to
segment,
happen.
right?
That caused that to happen.
Right.
Chelsea Green didn't want that match to happen because Chelsea Green has a title match coming on later on that night.
Right.
She was upset because she
got to face Meat Chin in that street fight. Now, Chelsea
Yes.
wasn't out at ringside on this one, so this was a fair fight instead of the usual hijinks you will see. So, solid match. There wasn't much to it. Everything they did was executed well. Nothing was really surprising and nothing really stood out, honestly. But
Yeah,
outside the finish,
you saw the Charlotte Flair situation. We knew that was happening.
right now, yeah, Stratton would score with a clean win with the signature moonsault with the PME. You know, that celebration was cut short. Charlotte came out, hit the chop block, put her in a figure 8. Like, I don't know, this would be like a 3.5 out of 5 on the match scale, but the post match was a little more interesting than the match itself. Now Stratton has gotten very good at hitting that swanton lately.
Oh yeah,
Like, she's been getting really
prettiest
good at that.
moonsault.
Now, a triple threat match took place to determine the next #1 contenders for the tag titles with Pretty Deadly, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Los Garzas. Okay, this was an awesome
Hang
freaking
on.
6-man.
Hang on. I gotta say something. I find it very, very disrespectful that Nick Aldis did more investigative work and did more research for the men's tag team title match than he did with who attacked Jade Cargill.
I guess he decided to let the ladies figure it out amongst themselves. Let the ladies govern that situation.
You be your own private eye and figure out who almost killed you. Like,
now, Saban and Shelley would enter the ring first for this triple threat tag. Angel and Berto came out during the break. Kit Wilson and Elton Prince would make their entrance when they got off the break. Angel would tag himself in to make sure Motor City were not in the match to begin with, but he was immediately hit with a drop kick. That was great. All 6 men were basically brawling it out within a minute because everybody was trying to. It was chaos. You already know if it's more than 2 teams, there's bound to be chaos in a triple threat tag team match.
oh yeah.
Now, in a bit of an upset, Pretty Deadly was able to get this win, though. You know, they will face the winners of DIY and the Street Profits. This was an entertaining match with a few good moments and a surprising but deserved outcome. This tag division in SmackDown, it's been fun to watch, honestly.
Yes, it's better than Raw's.
The tag division compared to Raw, SmackDown is a little more high octane, a little more, flash and glamour, a little bit of the pretty shit. It's hybrid style wrestling these guys are doing.
Yes.
Especially guys like the Motor City Machine Guns. Those guys are true hybrids of their profession. The last of the hybrids, the good ones at least. But I mean, look, it's good to see every team getting some attention at the same time in this match, and that's just how I feel about SmackDown's tag team division as of now.
Yeah.
Now, all this explaining the tag team division's current storyline was pretty interesting, actually. It's not the kind of segment they do too much, but it's a nice way to highlight them all. Because, some of them are sitting behind the curtain wondering when their next spot's coming. If they're going to be on TV or not, if they're going to walk through that curtain or not, if they're going to work a match or not, whether they're going over or not. So for Aldis to come out and do this was something that was necessary to highlight the tag team division. This match was definitely needed to highlight the tag team division in SmackDown. SmackDown is the more vibrant, the younger, the faster, the more hybrid, and then you get to Monday Night Raw where it's more traditional, more classic style matches. You're bound for instant classics there, guaranteed on Monday Night Raw, especially since the Paul Levesque era has started.
Yeah.
I love that about what's going on with SmackDown. Like, Raw is still a big highlight show. It's still a highlight show. But SmackDown is just that much more.
Yes, SmackDown has been pulling all the punches.
Dude, they've been pulling they haven't really been pulling any punches really on this at all. So I agree. They've been hard hitting. And moving on, the confession of Naomi.
I did it for you, Bianca Belair.
I did it for the Rock. I did it for the people. I did it. Oh, such a Mechathon wearing fatty. No, sorry. I remember that promo like the back of my hand. That shit was funny. Okay, the whole Rikishi thing. But this basically led to Naomi dramatically revealing she attacked Cargill, but much like Rikishi, she did it for the Rock and all that.
She might be up all night now.
Bianca would walk away from the ring with tears in her eyes at the end of this all.
And then Jade Cargill hears some music and she comes out. And
she comes in from the backstage.
I was waiting. I saw it, and I saw her come out, and she looked at Bianca, and I was waiting to see what's happening. Bianca basically just gave her hand and was like, "Go ahead and do what you got to do."
All right, go, just go. Yeah.
And
now,
I was shocked.
Braun Strowman, moving forward on this, Braun Strowman will continue his feud with the New Bloodline this week, and he took on Solo in a singles match. Now, Strowman, he had the upper hand a lot of bit because, I say a lot of bit because, look at Strowman, look at Solo. This was a one-sided fight until interruptions came through.
Yes, and then, dude, the Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman, I want to see something at WrestleMania between those two.
Yes.
And not just the hip attacks. I want to see something.
Wait, don't we have another Saturday Night main event coming up before Mania?
Yeah, we do. I think we do.
We might see it there again. Because Fatu and Strowman faced each other last Saturday Night main event.
And dude, it's gonna be good.
Strowman Fatu too. Let's go. I'm here for it.
They kept on pushing the fact that Jacob Fatu would not stay down.
Now,
stay down.
And then Fatu interrupting would cause the DQ. Win goes to Braun Strowman. They played the moment Cody and now before this, they did play the moment where Cody would show up and talk to Diamond Dallas Page, but most importantly, the next inductee to the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame, Lex Luger. Congratulations, Lex.
I'm very conflicted on that.
Well, look,
I was talking just about this.
Look, I've been watching a lot of Lex Luger's story and what happened. Look, people make mistakes in this life, and sometimes it can be very.
That's not what I mean. What I mean is that Lex Luger, he was predominantly the man that took over wrestling after Hogan.
Yeah.
So my mindset, whenever it came out to it, I always thought that he was going to be a headliner.
I thought so too.
But he's not. And I was very shocked with that.
Yeah, but he was basically having to pick up the pieces from Hogan's departure.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out all that great. But Lex made a career of the opportunities that were given to him. He took it. And now the Lex Express is making its final stop to the WWE Hall of Fame.
And we'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting. I think I saw that. I think Eric Bischoff might be inducting him.
Maybe so.
We'll see.
Now, moving on to Chelsea Green versus Michin Street Fight Women's U.S. title.
That match was so good.
Chelsea would come out dressed as Cactus Jack.
I love that.
Michin would come out with a trash can full of toys. Fight would start before the bell even rung.
I'm going to be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
Wow. But then we come back from the break. Green would take a blast from a fire extinguisher right to the face. Gave Michin enough time to finally take the table off from underneath the ring. And you already know how we say, he or she who sets up the table goes through it.
Oh, yes.
Now the crowd would start chanting ECW, and the challenger set up that table in the corner. Green would hit a bulldog that stalled her plans. Once the table was set up, Michin hit the eat the feet and put Green on the top of that table.
This creek is
get to the top of that rope, hit a senton to put Green through that table, but someone in a hoodie pulled Green out of the ring. It would happen to be Alba Fire.
travel
Because, of
through the
course, Isla
swamp to
Dawn,
the
her
ring
former
of
tag partner, has been released from WWE.
Yep, and now she is Chelsea Green.
Yeah, pretty much. She's on Chelsea Green's side here. She would salute as Green covered Meechin for the pin and retaining the Women's U.S. Championship. Oh, I did like that Meechin had an Eagles jersey for her attire. That was pretty cool.
So I have little ones that just woke up, so I gotta go take care of them with bath time. But before I go, I do have to mention one thing that we have not mentioned yet.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be talking about the Cody Rhodes promo soon. The
Yeah, so let's talk about it
passion
now.
with that promo. That promo. I'm going to go ahead and say this right here and right now. And I don't care what anybody says or how anybody feels about this. John Cena's heel turn has sat there and skyrocketed Cody Rhodes' property. He is so much better on that mic. Everybody likes him so much more. And there was something that I loved the most after that promo. It was Carmelo Hayes and The Miz.
Yeah.
And Carmelo Hayes with the comment about Randy Orton playing Fortnite sitting on the couch, and Randy Orton came out, nah, homie, I was playing Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring, yeah. Actually, it was Elden Ring. I love that
I was
shit.
like, yes.
My boy. That was a
He
great promo
giving it
right there.
up.
But all right, homie, go ahead and handle up, and I'll take over the rest. There's not much left of the stream, so
You
I'm gonna run
guys,
this
peace
thing.
out. Much love to you guys. Thank you guys so much for entertaining me while I got to go ahead and eat my food and make dinner.
There you go, man.
Later, brother. Later, Cody.
Be good, man. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that was Cajun Daddy Trucker Jimmy Foo Show joining me here on that. So let's get moving to the Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso match. Now, like I said before that, Rhodes would come out to address Cena's heel turn, big old black eye, big shiner on his eye. You know, Rhodes saying that he's waiting for Cena to explain his actions. He delivered a very, very emotional promo telling Cena to come get some. You know, he's like, well, we already know you want some. Come get some. And he puts the title in the screen in that camera and says, come and get some. And I loved it, man. We need you in Discord. Well, I'm almost done. Just give me a second. Next match, we'd see Drew McIntyre take on Jimmy Uso, who came out hot. And these guys have faced each other on Monday Night Raw quite a few times already. So that, well, actually, no, that was Jay. But I know, I'll fuck with y'all. But this match between Jimmy and Drew was probably no different here. Because here's the deal. Jimmy would keep fighting it competitive and never let the powerhouse dominate the pace. But one big Claymore put him down to give McIntyre the win. McIntyre would dominate here and get that win. Now, next match, main event, LA Knight going against Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship, which is held by Shinsuke. This main event saw these two men take an egregious amount of liberties on each other in this match. It was great. Nakamura took over early. He hit a few signature moves like that sliding German suplex, not recovered, hit that bulldog. Referee Charles Robinson, Lil Nate, dude. I freaking love Lil Nate. I've talked to these guys every time we would go down to the Cajun Dome, whether it was Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or something. And it was either Justin or me. Or we would probably be on opposite sides of the building, not realizing we were across from each other. But yeah, we'd see Robinson rigging up the ring, tightening up the ropes, sitting there like, wow, dude, really? The referees are doing all this as well? But that's them showing their dedication to this product and dedication to the brand. But Charles Robinson ended up getting missed it by mistake. It didn't matter in the end. Another ref ran down whenever Knight was able to hit that BFT and become the new United States champion, now a two-time United States champion. This Nakamura's entrance, I'm sorry, dope-ass wrestling entrance, dude. I freaking love it. It needs a little more light as he walks up the aisle, if you want my honest opinion, because there's there's minimal light on the way through. But overall, it was an awesome, awesome match, a great SmackDown. We're building up to WrestleMania 41 here, guys. And with that being said, that concludes our podcast. That concludes the week in wrestling. I hope y'all enjoyed everything. Tune in with me next Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, as usual. here on YouTube for the next Week in Wrestling episode. With that being said, I'm just built different, Cody Hawkinz. Y'all have yourselves a great night. See you soon.